Is it odd? What is that, like the German CIA or some shit?
And unproductive, because actually what it does is prolong the conflict and escalate and increase the number of casualties that happen as a result of the continuation of the conflict.
The question, Mr. Prime Minister, is U.S. Secretary of State Tony Blinken said that Israel has an extra burden, that Israel, because of its strength and power and dominance, has an extra burden on these question of casualties.
It's not. I got scared. I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was like... I was fucking worried. I thought the German CIA was in the chat. Straight up. I was like, all right. Fucked, boys.
The question is whether Israel is meeting its extra burden in responding to these rocket attacks from Hamas.
You certainly are. And I can tell you that there have been many studies by serious military analysts who have compared Israel's actions with that of other Western armies in similar situations fighting radical Islamists, whether it's in Iraq or in Afghanistan or elsewhere. And you know how prolonged those conflicts are, how many casualties are caused. So I think there has to be a measure of fairness. There has to be a measure of reasonableness in projecting this kind of criticism against the Israeli army that is second to none in seeking to minimize civilian casualties while protecting our own civilians. You know, if Hamas would simply move these rockets out of the civilian areas, if they move their command posts out of these homes and offices, then there wouldn't be any problem.
Let me ask you, Mr. Prime Minister.
But the fact is, they're sending...
Move him where, by the way? Like, as though... Dude... Like where? Motherfucker, everything is reduced to rubble. Like, it's not like they have a lot of real estate to work with, dude. Just move your rockets, Hamas. Just move them into the ocean. Like, or rather, move them to Egypt so we can justify invading Egypt or something. You know what I mean? Come on, just move them. Yeah, Gaza is the most densely populated area in the world. The most infrastructure is completely destroyed. That's crazy. Israel's the only country that can ever get away with bombing U.S. agencies. If this was Afghanistani people, the country would be dust. Is he saying the Hamas should just move so they can exclusively bomb them? I think that's what he's trying to say. Also, yeah, if you're Hamas, like, why the fuck would you be like, oh yeah, that's right, let's just move over to different areas so like they can bomb us easier? Which, by the way, is such a fucking ridiculous conversation that we're having now that like we have already forgotten that the original question was, why did you bomb a media agency and then lie about Hamas being there and then not offer any evidence whatsoever and not even respond to the out I gave you by saying, like, come on, Joe Biden told you not to reveal the intelligence assets, right? Come on, just give me a crumb, Netanyahu, anything. Instead, he's just like, yeah, just Hamas, just move your rocket bases, bro. Come on.
Thousands of rockets on our cities with the specific purpose of murdering our civilians from these places.
Let me ask you, Mr.
What would you do?
Let me ask
if it happened to Washington and to New York, you know damn well what you do.
Let me ask you.
You do at the very least what we're doing.
What the fuck? He's just
in offices. Then,
bro, the thing is, like, I just want to say something. You are so useless, and you literally add nothing to this complex issue. Step down and wait for David Guetta's new track, dumbass. Good one. So the thing I love about this, and like, straight up psychos, like actual ultra nationalist Zionist psychos, and what they want is like, what more do you fucking want? Like, the media doesn't even fucking yell at you. Like, they do everything they can. They bend over backwards to cover Israeli atrocities in the most passive way possible. Like, the New York Times straight up is just like, Palestinians perished, I don't know why, for some inexplicable reason. Some of them were kids, but, you know, who's to say they're really children? I mean, they looked really adult-like, even though they were fucking 13. Also, 5 Israeli citizens were murdered in the hands of Hamas. Like that's the way that New York Times is covering it. Like, what more do you want? Well, I know what they want. There's a reason why the Israeli Hebrew IDF Instagram account is just showcasing bombing targets and being like, these dogs will be wiped off the planet. Okay. And then the Western facing IDF accounts say things like, here's what you should know about how much the Israelis are under attack right now and what you can do to help and why it's okay. Like, the reason why the propaganda is very different is because you don't need to fucking compel a big chunk of the Israelis who are just like, oh no, they deserve death. Like, they deserve it, obviously. So what Bibi Netanyahu wants, and what a lot of these like psychopathic, reactionary, far-right, ultra-nationalist, Zionist freaks, what they want is for the rest of the world, specifically the Western media, to also use the same kinds of language to be like, these Palestinian dogs deserve death. You know, may God shame on their existence. I spit on them. And of course, here are some bombing targets of schools and other points of infrastructure. And you shouldn't feel bad about it. So, like, that's the real reason why he's mad. It's like, dude, you're crazy. Your criticism of like Western media blows my fucking mind when Western media's coverage of Israel's acts of aggression, acts of war, acts of occupation, acts of dehumanization against Palestinians, all of that is either completely overlooked on purpose, robbed of its context to the point where it's a literal fucking lie, or they straight up have you to come on and lie about it yourself personally, and my man is still fucking crying. It's no different than when Ben Shapiro and so many other reactionary psychopaths will say, I can't believe how much Facebook is actually censoring us. Hypothetically, what if every single thing that we saw on Facebook was actually reactionary conservatism? Well, it is. It is. It literally is. Well, it's not enough. Actually, we should squash the opposition. Okay? We should push them into the sea. No matter what. If you are leftist, if you are left of center, or even if you're, even if you're a centrist, you should not exist. You should cease to exist. You should cease to exist on these platforms. Like, what are you saying? Like, what do you want? You're fucking crying about Facebook censoring conservatives, and half the time Facebook is clapping fucking left-wing accounts, okay? And they maybe sometimes fucking clap like QAnon supporters or people who are just straight up fucking lying about vaccines or something that are like damaging the public health. But you still dominate. And it's not enough. It's never enough. Yes, I know the fucking CC says, you know, if Hamas would simp.
And there wouldn't be any problem.
Let me ask you, Mr. Prime Minister.
But the fact is, they're sending thousands of rockets on our cities with a specific purpose of murdering our civilians from these places.
Let me ask you, Mr.
What would you do?
Let me ask
if it happened to Washington and to New York, you know damn well what you do.
Let me ask
you do at the very least what we're doing.
Let me ask you a broader question that was articulated by Senator Bernie Sanders, which is distinct from the clashes over the last week. His argument is that the treatment of the Palestinians is so rough that they are marginalized, demonized in such a fashion that there can never be peace, never be a two-state solution, and that your treatment of the Palestinians outside of this week creates conditions that are always going to lead to this kind of unrest, not just the missile attacks, but the riots you see in cities. What's your response to that?
Well, let's divide it into two. First of all, the Hamas is not attacking us because they're trying to increase the welfare of Palestinians. In fact, they're taking huge sums to build the terror tunnels, which we've been able to neutralize, to have rockets, missiles, and other armaments. They're not building up Gaza. They're doing everything in their...
Okay, I skipped a lot of that. Hold on, I'm sorry. We got to do this again.
Creates conditions that are always going to lead to this kind of unrest, not just the missile attacks, but the riots you see in cities. What's your response to that?
Well, let's divide it into two. First of all, the Hamas is not attacking us because they're trying to increase the welfare of Palestinians. In fact, they're taking huge sums to build the terror tunnels, which we've been able to neutralize.
Bro, the Hamas is literally using kids as a human shield. Thank you, Eliab11, for your wonderful and insightful take. This is the first time we have heard this line of propaganda. We have no answer to it. You have owned me in the marketplace of ideas. Remember, Bernie Sanders makes an argument about Palestinian welfare, like of Palestinian citizens. Bibi Netanyahu turns that back to, again, Hamas. Hamas is doing terror tunnels. This was debunked multiple times by Amnesty International and the UN. Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter, though.
To have rockets, missiles, and other armaments. They're not building up Gaza. They're doing everything in their...
Dog, are you fucking stupid? Do you have a serious brain issue? This is one of the most idiotic fucking takes, dude. Like, the first 8 minutes of the conversation literally revolved around you bombing a fucking press building. What are people supposed to do? And honestly, listen, like, again, like, fuck Hamas, which is an Islamist fundamentalist group that the Palestinian people are unfortunately stuck with in Gaza. Okay? But if I'm getting fucking shelled every goddamn day, I'm probably not going to build a library so you can bomb it tomorrow. God damn, dude. What the fuck? These takes are so fucking delusional, dude. In the process of Bibi Netanyahu explaining away why they have to fucking destroy buildings that are incredibly important for infrastructure and Palestinian welfare, he's like, why aren't you building more buildings? Motherfucker, if this stupid fucking journalist wasn't such a dog, okay, he would turn around and maybe ask the question, okay, you talk about the importance of infrastructure for Palestinian welfare. What do you have to say about the hundreds of water wells that your IDF has destroyed that were Palestinian? What about the reality of Palestinians in the occupied West Bank, which is illegal, by the way, and how it takes 15 fucking years for them to actually get Israeli approval to build a sewage system for their own people in their own fucking territory? If you act like you care about infrastructure for the Palestinians, why the fuck won't you leave them alone and let them have this shit? Sorry, this topic brings out the Middle Eastern in me hardcore, which is why I started using dog as an insult. Because in America, dogs are wonderful. In the world, dogs are wonderful. Dogs are beautiful creatures. Much better than Bibi Netanyahu, who is a demon. But it's a very Middle Eastern insult to say someone is a donkey or a dog. Donkey is still like kind of funny, but dog is like worst thing.
Power to turn it into a fortified terror camp in order to destroy Israel. And they openly say that.
Is that why they bombed a fucking United Nations refugee camp in the middle of the fucking night? I wonder. You know, because their care for infrastructure is the reason why they keep bombing infrastructure. Actually, what you don't understand is that we're bombing those buildings so they can build it back better. Those buildings were, in violation of zoning ordinances. So that's precisely why we bombed them. And also, we don't let you, Ibn al-Kalb. We don't let you build water wells, and we control all of your water.
Their goal is to destroy Israel. They're not interested in any kind of coexistence, any kind of the kind of peace, the 4 peace treaties that I've made with Arab countries that are changing the Middle East. They're trying everything in their power to avoid the path of peace and reconciliation. So I think any objective observer understands that Hamas is out to destroy the state of Israel and they're not a partner. As far as the citizens of Israel or Arabs, I've done more than any other prime minister and spent billions and billions of dollars
doing genocide to Palestinians.
Israeli shekels, and 5 times more than all the previous governments combined, to ensure that our Israeli Arab citizens, all of them, can be part of the Israeli miracle, the great economic success story. I've invested that because I believe in it. I didn't do it now, and I didn't do it for CBS Face the Nation. I really believe in this. There has been a minority, a violent minority that is...
Wait, why is he plugging his election in American news, by the way? Like, that's how comfortable this fucking asshole is. That, like, one, he got away with literally just, like, lying about this shit. I wonder why he gets to go on American national news, okay, and then start promoting his own personal agenda of trying to build a coalition and ultimately continue being the leader of the nation of Israel. That's such a strange thing to do. It's weird. It's weird. Oh, it can't have anything to do with how closely tied our two nations are and how much influence the Israeli government has on the foreign policy decisions in the American government, and vice versa. Of course, how much decision making and sway that sort of propaganda has within America. It's so strange. Great stuff here. What the fuck is he doing? Like you're just really gonna go and instead of addressing any of the questions the fucking journalist is like even doing or asking, he's barely asking any questions, and just be like, yeah, by the way, my love for Israel is so long, and you should vote for me. Like, motherfucker, who's gonna watch this that can vote for you even?
Try to challenge that as well and to kill
Mr. Prime Minister,
innocent people. I won't tolerate that. Neither Arabs killing Israelis or Jews killing Arabs or Arabs killing Jews.
Let me ask you, I want you to respond.
Motherfucker rolled over this little dipshit like a goddamn Israeli bulldozer in the fucking occupied West Bank, dude. Straight up. Just fucking don't care. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to do my fucking tight 5 now.
One other thing before we go, which is your domestic challenges. You are under investigation for bribery, fraud, breach of trust. You've also had some difficulty, 4 failed attempts to put together a government in the last 23 months. This leads to the criticism that your current actions are basically an effort to stay in power. And what's your response to that?
Oh, I just want to say something. A lot of people make comparisons between Trump and Bibi Netanyahu. No, Netanyahu is worse. If a Netanyahu-like character ever came to power in the United States of America, that would be over. Because Netanyahu is ideologically a fascist. And he's incredibly well-spoken. And he's very fucking smart. So he has Trump's like right-wing nationalism and right-wing populism, but also something significantly more nefarious. An ideological agenda that he truly believes in, which revolves around an ethno-state nation project that can only be met with the complete evisceration and destruction of all Palestinians living in the region. That's well spoken. Bibi Netanyahu is incredibly fucking smart. What are you, crazy? Like, he is terrifying. He's fucking terrifying. So,
That's preposterous. When I was a young soldier, 18 years old, I held a fellow soldier who died in my arms. A few years later...
What does that have to do with your corruption, dog? What the fuck? Erdogan destroyed him at Davos. What? By saying 1 minute? 1 minute? 1 minute! Yeah, right, dude. Dude, this is so fucking good, dude. Oh. Preposterous to say I'm corrupt. How could you say that? Right after I talked about how I was doing my settler colonialism and my genocidal agenda and how much I love doing it as my mouth watered. I thought we had something going on. Really fucked up. Wow. Can't believe you're saying I am currently corrupt and under investigation and was supposed to get indicted and also convicted and go to jail when I've been a soldier. Kind of fucked up. Fun fact. Netanyahu is only alive right now because of a very old Israeli rule that dictated that special operations could not have two brothers operate at the same time on such special operations. His brother died in what was the country that they went to? It was another war crime. His brother died in an operation, and he was supposed to go on it as well. Speaking of him being a fucking in Uganda, right? Was it in Uganda? Yeah, they made a movie about it one time, and I yelled at the people at the Young Turks that wanted me to do a promotion for it, and I said the only thing I'll say about this movie, if you want me to say it, is that it was unfortunate that Netanyahu didn't get on that plane as well. Bibi didn't get on that plane as well. Yeah, Jonathan Yoni Netanyahu was an IDF officer who commanded the elite commando unit Sayeret Matkal during Operation Entebbe. Where they did Operation Entebbe to rescue hostages held at the Entebbe airport in Uganda in 1976. The mission was successful with 102 of the 106 hostages rescued, but Netanyahu was killed in action, the only IDF fatality during the operation. Yoni Netanyahu, his brother, the thing is, Bibi was supposed to be on that as well. Bibi was supposed to be on that operation as well, but he was not able to go because of an IDF rule that like two brothers can't go on the same operation at the same time.
My older brother, died while leading a rescue mission.
Oh, he's saying it. Oh, sorry. I didn't. I wasn't pre-watching. Okay, I what the. Jesus Christ, dude. Please give me sympathy. My brother died in an operation on foreign soil.
Entebbe, Uganda, to release Israeli hostages. I've seen comrades fall. I've seen my brother fall. And I think anybody who knows me knows that I've never, ever subordinated security concerns, the life of our soldiers, the life of our citizens, for political interests. That's just...
Bitch, how does that have anything to do with, how does that have anything to do with your corruption charges, dude? God damn, dude. That's good. That's good. Almost as good as the segues that I have when it's top of the hour and I have to do a 60-second ad break. You know what I'm saying? And then I proceed to tell you that before I run the ad, you can avoid those ads and enjoy continue on a broadcasting experience that's ad-free by subscribing. You can, of course, subscribe for $5, or you can subscribe for free with your Twitch Primes. You can use it on your favorite broadcaster, i.e. me, with a Twitch Prime. So here's the ad break now. That's a fucking solid segue, baby. You know that's a good-ass segue. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry that you're saying that I am currently corrupt when my brother died. So, yeah.
Hogwash. I'll do what I have to do to protect the lives.
If you Turk colonizers weren't so weak in dog water in World War I, the British wouldn't have gotten Palestine. This is like low-key kind of true. It is kind of true what you were saying. Actually, it's not even kind of true. You are right. And the other thing I was thinking of, that I was going to say that, no, he's right. The Ottoman Empire ruled over Palestine, where Palestine was fucking, people are going to get so mad at me, but Palestine was in a significantly better condition when it was under Ottoman rule. Better than the British rule, and certainly better than what the fuck's going on right now. Get mad at me all you want. Arab revolt, Turks. I mean, yeah, that's it's the Turkish fault that the British utilized understandable nationalism rising all around the world as nation states were forming to their strategic and imperialist advantage. For the record, the Ottomans were relatively tolerant for most of their history compared to Western nations. Yeah, well, with notable exceptions, though, towards the end there, especially. But yeah, no. I mean, look, the Ottoman Empire controlled Palestinian land and Palestinian territory for a very long time, and that's part of the reason why Theodor Herzl, the founding father of Zionism, went to, I forget which sultan it was at the time. I keep forgetting. I keep fucking it up. There's so many sultans. Who gives a shit? To ask for the Palestinian land. Is Abdul Hamid? Sen Abdul Hamid'i savundun. Yeah. Asked Abdul Hamid at the time to give them Palestine to the Jews for his Zionist project. I reported your stream for hate speech, but I know you're not going to get banned because Twitch staff selectively enforces the rules. They ban Trump, but they don't ban you. You threaten chatter and engage in anti-Semitic propaganda. I want to know what he thinks is anti-Semitic propaganda. Don't ban him. Account created 37 minutes ago. Following since 36 minutes ago. I wonder what he considers to be anti-Semitic propaganda. Please, 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 please. Don't lose a follower. Dude, listen. We've been banning this person's talk accounts, LMAO. He got banned before. Of course he did. No, 6949. I need to know. I want to know what. Yeah, account created 37 minutes ago, following since 36 minutes ago. That's crazy. I wonder why he made this account. I need to know what he means. Like, what do you mean by this, sir? Anyway.
Of Israeli citizens and to restore peace. I've made peace with 4 Arab countries. I'm glad that we have a restoration.
Yeah, I made peace with 4 Arab countries, dude. Come on. Like, why don't we get to do genocide on Arabs now? Come on, bro.
Of some considerable calm within Israel. That's my goal, to restore peace and quiet and to assure tranquility and reconciliation for all.
But this is a persistent criticism, Mr. Prime Minister. Why do you think it persists?
It persists because I've been reelected 5 times. It persists because I beat every other candidate in public polls and in direct election simulations. Apparently, the people of Israel, the majority, don't agree with this false criticism and this
literal Trump. Like, if he were to turn around and be like, I'm the most innocent leader of the wonderful country of Israel, the least innocent. Come on, the people keep voting for me. It's like, oh yeah, is that why you're having a hard time forming a fucking government? Like 4 tries in 2 years doesn't seem too great. I'm just saying, like, it kind of feels like you're not that popular, and low key would go so far as to I don't know, go so far as to increase the stress on your never-ending genocidal Palestinian campaign of occupation. Anyway, let's keep going.
They know that I'm standing
He
there
replied,
for
what'd he
Israel,
say?
and I'm doing everything I can
Hold
for
on.
the safety and prosperity of the Israeli people. By the way, all of Israel.
I know you're not going to get banned because I have a custom Because you have a custom contract with Twitch, you encourage violence against police and businesses. Twitch let you do it. Keemstar has all your clips, by the way. Good luck. Oh, this is the Keemstar guy. This is the Keemstar fan. I think that's probably the most embarrassing part about what he's saying is that, like, I remember this guy. I've banned him a bunch of times. He might have literally been banned like 69, 42 times. You know what I mean?
Citizens, Jews and Arabs alike.
All right, Mr. Prime Minister, we're out of time. Thanks so much for being with us.
He just took. Did he take off his IFB? Just like, I'm done with this here. All right, I'm done with this here, boys. We're done. I think the most embarrassing thing that dude does is that he admits that he's a Keemstar fan over and over again. It's like a permanent fucking L, dude.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
What is this?
But yeah, it's sick. I mean, you texted me that video of the kid. You know, another medic was just shot. So
yeah, there was something that Bilal Muhammad, who's one of the UFC fighters, had on his Instagram, and I texted you that. It's
dude, thank God there's like fucking Muslim fighters, so Joe Rogan has like at least knowledge of what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, because if it wasn't for like Khabib and other like Muslim fighters, like Joe would just have no fucking clue. His point of view on the world is almost entirely guided by the absolute fucking brain dead chuds that he occupies himself with, or that he surrounds himself with. Oh, by the way, this is from 2019.
It's so, again, this is another thing.
Right.
It's so difficult to understand what's actually going on. There's so many pro-Israel people that put their head in the sand and don't want to look at some of these atrocities and don't want to look at some of the videos that you sent me of soldiers shooting at people that are not doing anything.
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, their whole argument is that it's all Hamas and their human shields. I mean, we looked through hundreds of hours of footage that these people gave us, and it's mind-blowing footage. It looks absolutely cinematic and epic, but the footage is harrowing, and I didn't see one weapon.
I think Joe Rogan would still have Abby Martin on. I think Joe Rogan should still have Abby Martin on his show. Didn't Joe make fun of her in her Palestine takes with Sam Harris on a later episode? Oh, he did? Oh, god damn it, dude. Fuck. Okay, I forgot. Sam Harris. She works with Mark Prisoner. I think they're married. Or they're partners, I think. But yes, they work together as well. Fucking Sam Harris, dude. Just the absolute worst.
I didn't see one militant, not one weapon. It was literally people with slingshots throwing rocks at tanks.
True.
It's kind of a rite of passage. It's very symbolic. They're not trying to hurt anyone. No Israeli soldiers have been hurt or killed, during 2018, which is what the film looks at, is through 2018 of the Great March of Return. And there's not any weapons. There's no militants. Hamas has nothing to do with the march. And it's just shocking. I mean, it's shocking how many war crimes were committed on camera. And it's just amazing the propaganda that's just told to us about what this is and why they have the right to kill people that pose no threat to them.
When you were on last time and you talked about this, one of my email accounts was flooded with literally a chain letter, like the same letter, like denouncing you and your lies and your anti-Semitic perspective and your anti-Israeli perspective. It was weird because it was the same email.
AstroTurfed, yeah, it was fake.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a campaign. You
But
know
it came
that has a
from
lot
hundreds.
of money behind it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money behind that. I mean, the film's mind-blowing. Go to GazaFightsForFreedom.com if you want to check it out when it gets released, and it's just really incontrovertible, Joe. I mean, even if it were a war between armies, all of these things that Israel has done are still documented war crimes and very grievous violations of international law. And we're talking about direct targeting and assassinations by Israeli snipers of disabled people, of children,
Medics.
press, and medics. And that's who Razan was. She was a medic, and as you mentioned, another medic just
watch Abby interview Israelis is sickening. Dude, not only did I watch it on stream, and the YouTube video of it is literally out on my YouTube. These Israelis sound like fascists is the title of the video. It's been out for 15 hours. God damn, editors working fucking overtime over here. They've pumped out 4 fucking Palestine videos so far. I'm gonna get clapped. I feel like, dude, that's 4 fucking Palestine videos in a row. I am just biding my time until I get fucking permanently clapped. It feels like. We'll see. Hopefully I don't, and that'll be great.
Passed away, was killed, rather. I hate to use the passive voice because you always
Should we slow down? Oh, what's up, Will? Actual question? Nah, fuck it, dude.
Palestinians died. No, they were murdered. They're all being murdered by snipers, and they pose no threat to them. And so the film looks at this UN investigation basically during the march in 2018 and documents all of the grievous crimes and atrocities conducted by the Israeli military. And I mean, you know, Palestine has a right to defend itself. And this isn't even what that is. But if you look at the UN Charter of 1978, they say that, you know, occupied peoples and besieged peoples have the right actually for armed self-defense. And the fact that this is not even what that is, that there's literally people going out there in peace with their bared chests, holding flags, and they're getting killed and sniped. There's so many amputations. I mean, just in 2018 alone, there was 35 kids who were killed. 900 shot.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's children. And you know, some of these stories are harrowing.
I can't believe Abby Martin is failing to consider that, like, some of those kids might be Hamas one day, okay? It's what you got to do, okay? It's just what you got to do, all right?
A kid hiding behind a trash can who was sniped, a kid who went up to the...
Have you considered that maybe the trash can was hiding Hamas in it? You know, that sort of thing.
Fence and just put it...
It's like... At this point, it's like it's just what it is. That's literally fucking the justifications for it, regardless. Like
the Palestinian flag, and she was shot in the head and died instantly. It goes on and on and on. And so, you know, we're just trying to document this to really kind of push the needle for accountability, because these laws have been agreed upon by the international community, some of them 100 years ago. And to have kind of a rogue state acting with complete impunity, knowing that it has total protection.
I remember a time when, again, I've talked about this a bunch of times, but like there was a Palestinian medic who was clearly identified as a medic, the Red Cross honor and everything. Okay, and IDF shot and fucking killed her. At the time, people were very upset. How could you murder a Palestinian medic who posed no threat to you? Oh, did I miss it? Did she talk about it already? Did I miss that? Because I was peeing. Okay. Yeah. Ruzan al-Najjar. Now, Israel and the Israeli propaganda immediately did what Israel and Israeli propaganda always does, and said that she was actually a human shield, or had actually been a Hamas operative. That's why she had to die. That's why she had to be murdered. Okay? But not only that, but then they also took it one step further and deceptively edited a video to make it seem like she was Hamas. And then it came out that that was all a falsehood. So that's why I always say, like, why should anyone ever fucking believe whatever the fuck the IDF has to say about anything? Like anything. Pepe the Jew. Palestine is the name of the place. Rome called it an act of colonization. There's no such thing as Palestinian people. Can you, mods, come on. Like, what do you think this guy's here to do? Please. I don't want to dispose of this filth, because I as soon as I click on their fucking account, there's going to be like some crazy shit on it. Probably. I saw the exact same message on another account. Yeah.
Protection from the U.S. empire and given more freedom than ever under Trump with this Golan Heights thing and the moving of the Jerusalem embassy, or the moving of the embassy to Jerusalem. I mean, it's abysmal and it needs to be stopped. And, they can't control the narrative any longer because we're seeing this with our own eyes. And that's what this film does, is really lays it all out.
Abby, you concentrate and focus on so many different fucked up parts of the world. But you're very friendly and upbeat. Like you're laughing at this. How do you manage to maintain your sanity? Because I have a hard time if I just watch one of your pieces.
Right.
I watch one of your clips and I just go, what the fuck? And I just want to cry and I don't know what to do and I want to hug my kids. But you're in the trenches every day and you go to these places all the time. How do you do it?
Well, I think that, first of all, I go and camp a lot. I get into nature a lot, which is also kind of depressing, knowing that, climate change and blah, blah, blah. But I try to get out and see the beauty of the world and understand my privilege, especially as an American citizen, because we can't afford to not be aware, and we can't afford to not be educated and talking about these issues, especially when our government is subsidizing this around the world, $10 million every day with our tax dollars. This is going on, and it's so.
You remember when Israel attacked the Turkish ship support that was sent to Gaza? Yes, Mavi Marmara. This was a gigantic fucking act of aggression against the Turks. A Turkish ship by the name of Mavi Marmara was literally sending supplies into Gaza, and in an act of resistance against the Gaza blockade that Israel had illegally put around Gaza once again. And they came in with fucking attack helicopters, literally roped into the fucking ship and murdered everybody in it. Okay? And then they said, yeah, we thought that they were just bringing in terrorist weapons. And guess what they had as weapons in the fucking ship? They showed it too. They literally fucking showed the weapons that they had pulled out of the ship. I still remember seeing the images. It was so fucking insane. Where all they found on the ship was hammers, and it was just medical supplies. It was like hammers. I think there was one scissor. There was scissors there. Yeah. Yeah. Let me look. Here, I'll show you. I mean, it's fucking, you can see it in broad daylight. Like, Mavi Marmara is a passenger ship that was purchased in 2010 by IHH, a Turkish NGO, active as a charity organization in more than 115 countries. The group represented its Turkish language name in the English various ways, IHH Humanitarian Relief Foundation among them. They had special consultative status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council since 2004. The German IHH is classified in Israel and Holland as a terrorist organization. What the fuck? Why? An NGO with close ties to the Israeli Defense Forces? Wait, what? With multiple Israeli governmental officials that have alleged the IHH supports terrorism, has smuggled arms on behalf of terrorist groups. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. The IHH denies these claims, and Greta Berlin, a director of the Free Gaza movement, called the claims utterly scurrilous. I fucking love these articles, man. Okay? It's just like, I love it, dude. It's just, yeah, they're terrorists, bro. They're like, I wonder if they will show what they found on the ship. Yeah. The Mavi Marmara was a passenger ship and did not carry any humanitarian aid, though other ships, 4 in the 6 of the convoy, was carrying aid supplies. Israel, okay, I'm going to show you what happened. Okay. Passengers on the ship actively attempted to thwart a landing on the ship by Israeli commandos in the violent clash that followed. Yo, who wrote this, bro? Who wrote this article, dude? there's videos of it. Like, how can you fucking cover this? How can you cover this story with this way? Bro, look. Look at this. If you want to know, listen, if you want to know what IDF propaganda looks like, this is it, boys. This is it. This is titled Israeli Defense Forces Weaponry Used by Passengers Aboard the Mavi Marmara. This is true. They showed this. No. This is from news reports at the fucking time. They literally showed this to justify murdering human rights activists on a fucking freedom flotilla that was trying to bring in aid to Gaza. They showed this and justified like ripping these people into shreds with their fucking Uzis, dude. You thought I was lying, right? Yeah, look at these devastating weapons of war in the form of CDs. Anyway. Yeah, weapons of mass cutlery, dude, on a ship. These were the weapons that were used to push back in the violent incident, dude. 9 activists were killed in the violent clash that followed because the passengers of the ship actively attempted to thwart a landing of the ship by Israeli commandos that literally, if I'm not mistaken, they started shooting from the helicopter, first of all. This was the flotilla. And they came in with fucking attack helicopters. Wow, you really need to be educated on this topic? You don't know shit? Guy who literally did not even know this thing happened. Guy who literally did not even know this thing had ever happened until a second ago gets mad at political commentator who can't recall every single fucking minute detail of an incident that occurred like fucking 10 years ago. My dude, what the fuck? What a fucking idiot, dude. Several dozen activists were claimed to be injured, some seriously. Israel claimed 10 of its soldiers were injured, 1 seriously. The UN report states that knives on the kitchen ship, plus 1 traditional ceremonial knife, some catapults, slingshots, and metal pipes the passengers cut from the ship's railings were found. Turkey unveiled its final report on the Israeli attack on the Gaza-bound aid convoy. On February 11, 2011, the Israeli government-appointed Turkey Commission unveiled its final report on January 2011, and both found the blockade and the force used by the Israeli soldiers to be legal. Dogs, all of them. A Polish authority on admiralty law, Professor Andrzej Makowski of the Polish Naval Academy in Gdynia, also upheld this view in an extensive article in the Israel Journal of Foreign Affairs. It's great. Sorry, we found that your death is legal, bro. Why they put the Saudi flag in there? To be scary? I don't know. Probably. Yeah.
So close to home. And we have to acknowledge our privilege and acknowledge.
Is that the Hamas flag? They probably fucking planted it.
Which is, we have agency. We have agency to lobby our government to change this and to stop these criminal
I have no idea what flag that is, for the record. I don't know. Anyway, sorry to bust up your narrative, but here's Hamas CD throwing training video you can view for yourself.
Hey guys, we're gonna be throwing this CD, and we're not gonna do it here. We're gonna talk to the kids.
Holy shit, don't tell me this kid's gonna throw the CD at the church. When will these Hamas demons stop their acts of aggression against Christians too now? Wait, I missed it. An act of aggression and war. I'm sorry that I showed you the young Ludwig doing such a devastating act of violence. Pretty good throw, by the way. From my appearance on Al Jazeera English Inside Story, both people of Israel and Gaza deserve a better future, but it is the Hamas, a jihadist terror organization who instead of stockpiling COVID vaccines is stockpiling rockets and tunnels holding both hostage. What? Stockpiling COVID vaccines? What the fuck? Dude, who's the country that is literally refusing to give COVID vaccines to the Palestinian people? Like, how are they supposed to get it, jackass? Are they supposed to materialize out of thin air? Should they pray to Allah so Allah fucking beams in some COVID vaccines, dog? Yeah, they're stockpiling tunnels instead. I love to stockpile tunnels. I'm not going to even dignify this with a watch, okay? It's just fucking psychotic. Absolutely psychotic. We've already watched Why Evangelical Christians Love Israel. I'm not going to run that again. Instead, I am going to move on to, before I do the P.O. box, I need to fucking cook and eat. So, we're back. Where's Griffin? Where is Griffin? We're back on... Boys, we are back on the fucking 90-day Reaxate train, okay? We're going to move on from this to fun stuff like I promised, even though it's been fucking literal 4 hours of me talking nonstop about Israel, Palestine. So we are back with Molly and Luis. Boys. Luis is a Dominican man from the Dominican Republic. He is 26 years old. And he has no filter. Molly runs her very own business. She's very cute, actually. She's a fucking girl boss who has her own bra store in Georgia. Her dad is very racist. Her daughter is also kind of racist. Pretty much a lot of people are just being racist in the show against Luis, but also Luis kind of sucks. So that's where we are. That's where we are right now. Take us to the kitchen if you're gonna cook. Yeah. Let me just fucking pull out my camera and like mobilize. I wonder if I could, like, you think if I had the capability of doing so, I wouldn't have done it already? I wouldn't have set up a fucking camera unit in the kitchen?
Luis is not being super involved in his ideas for the wedding.
They are about to get married, by the way, boys. We're doing it. We're doing it. Sunday Funday. It's the fun train. Wee woo, wee woo. Sunday Funday, baby. Let's go. Did I fucking run an ad 30 minutes ago, or did I literally blow through another ad break? I'm gonna fucking lose my goddamn mind if I... hold on. Let me look. I'm gonna look myself. I'm gonna look at my... 30 minutes ago, I ran an ad break. Okay, good.
I'm just disappointed.
Hell yeah.
But at this point, I just hope that what I choose, he likes.
I
wedding is 3 weeks away, and I have so much still to do.
I'm not running an ad.
So
I'm not.
today I'm visiting my friend Brent, and he is also my hairdresser. I'm really excited just to discuss some hair ideas with him for the wedding. Hi.
Well, hey, Precious, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, amazing. Good to see you. What's good with you?
The biggest thing that Luis and I need to continue to work on is his role with my kids. I'm putting my entire heart out, and if something doesn't work out, I'm going to be devastated because I really love this man. But I've waited 41 years, and I'm ready to get married.
So, what are you going to do for your wedding day? Veil, no veil?
I don't know.
Hair half up, half down? Flowing curls? Straight?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm 3 weeks away.
To figure it out.
She don't know.
I don't know. All I know is I'm slap nuts.
You're kind of nervous right now. This is a big
I'm
move.
nervous.
This is your first
I'm
time.
nervous.
Your first time being married. Of course you would be. Let's go ahead and get these roots under control. What do you think about that?
We need to do that.
All right, I'm gonna go and get started. How are the kids taken to him?
They're resistant, I guess you would say, and rightly so.
Even the
and
baby's
his parents
resistant.
have never been divorced, so he doesn't really.
Racist ass baby, dude. You already know. I'm just kidding. It literally can KW you stream your phone, therefore camera using Elgato screen cap. Like, come on, boomer, this is your job. Yeah, I don't agree with your statements.
Know about the role of what a step parent is. So it's just been adjustment, you know. I mean,
Too difficult.
Every little step of the way, I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening. Oh, yeah, this is going on.
So what's your fear?
Of marriage?
Yeah.
I'm worried about the cultural difference and that he can't adapt to this life. And I don't blame him. If he just said, I can't do this, I want to go home. I hurt for Luis being homesick, and I get it. It's a lot of change to his life all at once. For me, the biggest fear is that Luis will tell me that he loves me, but he loves his country more.
So how do we get you not stressed right now?
Oh, hell, we rinse his hair out. We throw some curls in it so I look fabulous.
All right, let's get this rinsed. You see the highlights and the lowlights.
Oh, yeah.
Morning.
Baby, come on.
Hey, man. How are you, man?
I'm amazing. Great to meet you.
Come over here so I can see you.
Oh, baby.
I'm sitting over here so I can look at you.
She told me before about you.
She told me before about you.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap up.
Come on.
So, Brent, you like him? He's so nice. I asked him if he would do my hair, and he said absolutely. You know, and we'll just have to figure the rest of the steps out.
It's your wedding. Do whatever you want.
Well, it's our wedding.
You talk to him about this. I don't know for what.
I'm just talking to you about just things. It was just a conversation. I'm not trying to be anything. I'm just talking to you.
It's your wedding.
I know Luis is still having a hard time adjusting, so I'm trying not to take it personally. I ask you what you want to eat for the wedding, and you don't have an answer. We could probably find a Dominican caterer so that you can have traditional Dominican food too. Like, I want to include your thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do. The fact that Luis has no opinion does not make it easier on me at all, because in truth and love, he has an opinion. Can we just be happy and just have fun?
Trust me, I need that. I hope so.
I need it too.
I need to be relaxed.
I need to. Just for the record. Me too.
Was 2 months stress force. The worst months about stress.
Are you
I need
serious?
Every time home, every time with skips, every time. Blah, 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 Kingsley, blah, 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 blah.
She's only 6. It's very hurtful because I love my daughter. She's like my whole heart, and he knows that.